Help the horse to save the soldier. This was the plea of the U.S. government to the American people during World War I. That began the humane work of rescuing our hero animals in times of crisis, as a way of rescuing their human counterparts. It was this call and the efforts of the American Humane Association that brought forth Red Star, and forever changed the way Americans view the bond we share with our pets and animals that so heroically serve us in so many ways and in every situation imaginable. Whenever animals are in danger, American Humane Association is there.
The history of Red Star is really very, very interesting. We actually got our start in World War I. At that time, animals were still being used on the battlefields of Europe. We don't think much about that in modern day, but we still use cavalry and horses to pull cannons and oxen and mules. And in the midst of all that trench warfare in World War I, the French government asked the American government if American Humane couldn't help out and provide the Red Cross for animals, which became the Red Star. And we were asked by the War Department to assist on those battlefields, and we did. And that was the start of our emergency relief services, which we still have today.
For nearly 100 years now, American Humane Association has helped the animal victims of natural and man-made disasters such as floods, chemical spills, hurricanes, and volcanic eruptions throughout the country. Today, American Humane Association's Red Star Animal Emergency Services bring together teams of the most highly skilled animal rescue workers in the world.
We've learned a lot as an organization, being on the forefront of animal disaster response for almost 100 years. And the result today is when you see an animal rescuer wearing a Red Star uniform out in the field, they aren't going to look too much different than your human rescuer, and they're going to be integrated right into that professional structure that we have in this country for emergency and disaster response.
When American Humane Association gets the call, we hit the ground. What we see out there are animals that are trapped in the oddest of places, the most vicious places you can imagine. You're talking 90-degree weather, sunshine, animals trapped on hot metal roofs, things like that. You know, when you get there, you can see in their eyes, you know, that they need your help. They have no desire to bite. They have no desire to cause you any problems. They're just thankful that you're there, you know, to rescue and provide for them and minimize their suffering. And that's really what it's about. This human-animal bond that we talk about is strong. And you see it when there's a disaster and people are out there and they won't leave their homes. They don't care. And I would be one of them. I would have a hard time with that. You know, I have 3 dogs, you know, and I consider them family. And, you know, to think that I would leave and leave them behind, it just doesn't even compute.
In 1976, the American Humane Association signed a letter of understanding with the American Red Cross, establishing American Humane Association as the primary contact in the U.S. for animal-related disaster relief. Whenever the need arises, American Humane Association serves as the coordinating agency to local shelters for animal supplies and resources. With this in mind, and with recent legislation from our nation's capital mandating animal rescue as a part of national disaster relief efforts, experts collaborating with Red Star say that community preparedness is one of the greatest benefits Red Star brings to local governments and community leaders.
Pets are part of the family, and they're very important to people. And when we prepare for disasters and we plan for our communities, we need to be planning for pets. If we don't, people will stay home. They won't leave. They won't evacuate. If we don't have shelters available that will take pets, people won't seek refuge at shelters, and they're put at risk. And so it's very important for our communities to plan and prepare for the whole family, which includes pets.
The human-animal bond, one that is important to most of us, and one that in a time of major crisis is crucial to the mental and physical well-being of those caught in the midst of a disaster. American Humane Association's Red Star is doing its best to be there for all when we need them the most, showing compassion in rescuing our non-human family members and bringing joy and hope to their human owners in times when hope might be all that is left.
One case in particular, we were in Pennsylvania with ACO, an animal control officer. They had a cat seizure that they needed to do, which is, it was a large cat sanctuary that was deemed to be neglecting their animals. She didn't have the resources to take it on herself, so she made some calls, and when she showed up to see the team that was out there to help her, she broke down in tears, because she went from being completely overwhelmed to seeing that the team was there to do what she needed us to do. She could continue with her work, and everything else was taken care of behind her.
To learn more or support the Red Star program, visit the American Humane Association online at www.americanhumane.org or call 1-866-242-1877.